Ko, Haloyim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of great millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kown. And this will be titled, They Know. They being Edom and the other nations. Do you know? You being the 12 tribes of Yasharallah, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, and you speckled birds who look like other nations scattered amongst all the corners of the earth. But however, your father's lineage, his seed goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. One more time. This is they know. The enemy knows. Do you know? Okay? Now, the scriptures say, study, and our elders stay on us, and recently I've been praying for an increase of wisdom. Okay, so I've been actually set aside, and I've been doing the work. Okay, I've been in these scriptures, I've been in these maps. I'm starting to get a clearer view. Okay, so yesterday, when I was preparing to sit down and do my reading, first of all, this is the moral of this. They know that this book right here, the Apocrypha, who some claim that is not canon. This is not canon. They'll feed you the book of Jaspers and the 1, 2, 3 Enochs, but they won't hit on this. Okay, now this book is actually part of the 1611. You go to court, you might just be putting your hand and swearing on it. Okay, however, when you go to the whorehouses, you won't hear Pastor Porchop or Pastor Perm mention this book. Okay, now they know that this book belongs inside the canon Bible, and what you're looking at is a picture of the old Scarfield Bible, which was gifted to me from Elder Anafba of the Indianapolis camp, who is now went on to be at peace with Yahweh Shai. He's in heaven. Okay, and he had asked me, was I sure that I wanted this one, because in all reality I need to get glasses, but my heart took hold to it, and I was like, yeah. So this is my at-home study Bible. It's once again it's a study Bible, and it comes equipped with a lot more information than this. This is my travel book. Okay, that's the Bible I had before. And see, one of the reasons why I wanted this old Scofield book is because when I opened up the case, it didn't have any crosses on it. And I'm not a fan of crosses. I know that we're not here to honor the cross that Yahweh Shai was crucified on. So you see this book has a cross on it. However, this book is the book that I carry when I go out to camps and when I carry every day when I go to work, because it's got bigger print. Okay, and it's just been through more. It's about to fall apart anyway. So I'm not about to beat up the better Bible. That's my at-home study Bible. Now that I've done all that, let's get to the point of this story. This book, the Apocrypha, it stands for hidden. Okay, they removed it because it's just too much information in it that will take you, Jake's mind, and set you probably back on the right path of understanding who we are. Okay, we're not Spics, we're not Negro, we not Port of Riches, okay, Cubans. No, we the 12 tribes of Yasharallah. All right, now here we go. This book, you see this? Malachi, that's the last chapter 4 of the Old Testament. What do you see right here? New Testament. Nothing to see here. In the back of there it says Matthew. When you flip the page, you're going to start reading the New Testament, Matthew. Nothing to see in between, right? All right. Well, Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I just came across this yesterday, and I've read it twice. Okay, this is Thursday. This is the book of Malachi. And what do you have here? It says, we're going to build it up. I just want you to see this, though, from this point of view. It doesn't go to a blank page. It doesn't go Malachi, New Testament. It says Malachi. Then it says, here, I even make it closer for you. This is what we're going to be focused on today. From Malachi to Matthew. So once again, you won't find that In my older Bible, the Bible that I had before I was gifted this Bible, the old Scofield Bible, it just says Malachi, New Testament. Now, what do you think this from Malachi to Matthew is talking about? This is why I'm so excited to do this lesson. Okay, bear with me. Yep, I got it ready. So I printed this where you can see it, Salaki, where you can pull it up and pause it, do whatever you got to do. But it's going to be on here. It's going to be on page. Okay, all of it. Now, I can't read all of this. I'll be doing a lot of tripping and probably lose your attention. So I'm just going to try to hit some major points, okay? That this is not going off. This is lined up. Basically, the moral of this story is these 2 pages in the old Scofield book explains to you the Apocrypha. You know, it's a introduction to the Apocrypha, and which leads me to feel like you should have left the Apocrypha in here. And if the Apocrypha is not canon, then no longer is the Bible canon, because they put this in the Bible. You get it? This is not a separated book. This information is in this Bible. So if the Bible's lying, then the Bible's lying, which we know it's not. Okay, Yahweh Basham Shah said he came in the volume of the book, meaning all of it. So, bear with me. Okay, in the close of the Old Testament canon, left Israel with two great divisions. The mass of the nations were dispersed throughout the Persia Empire, more as colonists than captives. Okay, a remnant chiefly of the tribe of Judah, with Zerubbabel, the prince of the Davidic family, and the survivor of the priests and Levites, had returned to the land under the premise decree of Cyprus and his successors. Okay, then they give you a precept, Daniel 5:31. Okay, and had established again the temple worship upon the remnant and interest of the students of the scriptures. Okay, centers. And the interests concern both the political and religious. And isn't that how it is today? They want things to be political, but then they try to use the mass of religious to say it should be to contradict how you think, to kind of play along. That's why you hear the apostles saying today that they got to get rid of the United States laws and the religious aspect to move on with this new world order. See, it's not going to function under the current times. This was all set up for the current times that we're in now. Okay? So, we're going to get right to it. Okay? This is Salakia. What you see here is note 1. The Persians' rule continued about 100 years after the close of the Old Testament canon, okay, and seemed to have been a mild and tolerant, allowing to the high priest, along with his religious functions, a measure of civil power, but under the overlordship of the governor of Syria. Okay, all right, so new worship Samaria. Okay, and then that gives you a precept of John 4:20. It's established. Okay, Palestinians suffered much from the constant wars between the Persia and Egypt, lying as it did between the anvil and the hammer. Okay, so they was in between stuck between a rock and a hard place. All right, now here, this is where it's gonna start getting juicy for me, because hey, I do my Bible studying. Okay, I try to read a chapter of the canon one day, and then I try what you know is the canon, the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then I'm in the Apocrypha the next day, and I go vice versa, going through these scriptures. Okay, so I'm really in tone with these stories. Okay, now here we go. This is point 2. You see point 2. In Babylon, Salakia, in 333 BC, Syria fell under the power of the third of the world empire, the Greco Macedonian of Alexander. Sound familiar? This is right here written. Alexander, the conqueror, as Joseph relateth, was induced to treat the Jews with much favor. But upon the breaking up of his empire, remember he passed away. He was only there for he only ruled for like 12 years. Judah again fell between the hammer and the anvil, and Syria and Egypt falling first under the power of Syria, but later under Egypt as ruled by Ptolemaic kings during the period BC 320 to 198. Great numbers of Jews were established in Egypt, and the Spartacus translations of the Old Testament was made BC 285. Okay, so we see Alexander's on the scene. This is all lining up with the Apocrypha, correct? Okay, now here we go. This is the third point being made right here. In BC 198, Judah was conquered by Antiochus the Great. Now, haven't we heard of Antiochus? Once again, all of these is lining up with the Maccabee stories. Okay, and here it goes. And next to Syria. At this time, the division of the land into five providences, families, to readers of the gospel, Galilee, Samaria, Judah, often collectively called Judah. I don't understand that. Trechonites and Pura and Salakia for that was made. The Jews at first were permitted to live under their own laws, under the high priest and a council. About BC 180, the land became the Duri of Cleopatra, a Caesarean princess, married to Ptolemy, Philometor, the king of Egypt, because the Duri of but on the death of Cleopatra was reclaimed by Antiochus Epiphanes. Now, you heard that name before. Once again, all of this is going back to the Apocrypha. The little horn of Daniel 8:9, Daniel chapter 8 and 9. And relax, man. All right, here we come. After a bloody battle in 170 BC, Antiochus, after repeated interference with the temple, remember the temple being built, and the priesthood, plundered Jerusalem, profaned the temple, and enslaved great numbers of the inhabitation. Okay? December 25th, BC 168, Antiochus offered a swoop upon the great altar and erected an altar to Jupiter. Once again, all of this can be found in the Apocrypha. That's where it mentions Zeus and everything. I can't give you the direct chapter, but I know that that's in the Maccabees. Okay, this is the desolation of Daniel 8 and 13. type of final type of abomination of desolation. Okay, and of Matthew's 24:15. The temple worship was forbidden, and the people compelled to eat swine's flesh. And now I got right there. If you look over here, I put Maccabee bros. Okay, we know about that. That's chapter 7 of the Maccabees. Okay, and their mom. All right, and then the story before after was about the older wise guy who they said that, hey man, you don't even have to eat pork. All you have to do is eat some steak or something lawful, and we'll pretend. He said, nah, man, my life is not worth it. So all of this is lining up. All right. Okay. The exercises of Antiochus provoked the revolt of the Maccabees. Okay. One of the most historic pages of history. Now listen to that. It says one of the most historic pages of history. So why did they hide it? Okay, this is one of the most historic pages of history. So why did they hide it? All right, they took they want this historic pages of history gone. Okay, Matthias, the first of the Maccabees, the priest of a great great see Salakia. We're not doing that. Bear with me, Salakia. Man.
Sanctity.
Damn, then you're
Sanctity.
not gonna say it. All right, Salakia. An energy of character. Okay, all right, hey, Salakia. Begun the revolt. He did little more than to gather a band of godly and determined Jews, but we know that's Yahuda, pledged to flee the nation and restore the ancient worship, and was succeeded by his son Judas, known in history as Maccabeus, from the Hebrew word for hammer. He was assisted by four brothers, of whom Simon is best known. And once again, all of this history is in the Apocrypha, okay? So, all right, so this is a read that I definitely suggest that you look into. And I don't know how many of the brothers have Bibles with this much information. Like, well, once again, this Bible was gifted to me. Now, I said all of this to say this. We're going to skip over, because I don't want to drag this long, and I am having some issues with some of these words and whatever. Okay, so as you read along, everything's lining up. And here's the real good key point that I want to make. Down here where you see this highlight, this is crazy. This is like a self-confession. But during this period also was created that mass of tradition. So the mass of tradition, and this is not our people, commented in interpretations. Okay? All right? And it's going to tell you right here about all the books, Mashiach, Gomor, forming the Talmud. That's not our people. That's not our history. Okay? And it really tells on these people. All right? It names the different books of the Talmud. And then it says, suppose upon the laws that ordained was transferred from the laws itself into the traditional interpretation. Okay, what do we know about traditions? You make it up. Traditions is how we feel. See, what this is basically saying is the Ish people, as they was translated, as they was brought into it, they seem fit to say that they customs are now biblical, and that's what the forming of the Talmud is, and that's why it does not go hand in hand with the Bible. Okay. All right, so I have a couple of precepts, as you see I added here, and I like to bring them out. Okay, this is the book of Malachi. Speaking of Malachi 3:16, or 3 and 6. For I am Yahweh by Shai. I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. And hey, if you read through this one page, it seems like they was trying to consume us, and if they delete our way of thinking and consume us. And once again, this is a good understanding of why Yahweh Shai came back to the conditions he did. We was already downtrodden when he came back, all right, to be our savior. Okay, so but during this period also was created that mass of tradition. And I'm saying just go into tradition. It has nothing that's tradition is why you still celebrate these wicked holidays, because that's your excuse. Okay, tradition is why you still eating on pork because your grandmother ate it. That's tradition. Comment and interpretations. So they went to the lean to your own understanding, not lean to these scriptures. You know, all of a sudden what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gave Moses wasn't good enough for them. Okay. And once again, forming the Talmud. We didn't do that. That's the Ish people, the wicked. All right. So now I got the book of Isaiah 34. Salakia. Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out the book of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. Well, what about the Apocrypha? Well, now we saying, I'm justifying that today. If this page does not belong in this Bible does not belong. Because once again, this page is strictly telling you the truth of the Apocrypha. It breaks it down. Just do the read and flip over, pause it when you get to that next page on this page and do it again. Okay. Now, once again, we don't have no third and fourth address and Book of Jubilees and Josephus and all of that. That's not her mate. The Apocrypha belongs inside it. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit Rakai, it has gathered them. So then why did these Ish people come along one more time right here? Let me blow that up. Yeah, let me blow that up for you. That's the point where I want you to focus on. But during the period also was created the mass of traditions. See, that's sin. And then that's when you see me start putting these precepts right here. Okay? So now I'm going to hit up Revelations 22:18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Now, once again, we just proved right here. That's what the Ish people did. Right here. Pay focus. Forming the Talmud. That's not our book. That doesn't belong here in no part of it. Okay? Based off, what did they say? Mass of traditions, not based on the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, so we got that part covered. Okay, and if any man shall take away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, now is the Apocrypha in everybody else's book? No. You see, the other book I have goes straight from Malachi to the word New Testament to Matthew. Okay. So they've taken away the words of this book. Okay. of this prophecy. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shall take away his part out the book of life. And see, when he say that, this is for Yasharallah. Okay, so I starting to think about the false prophets of our people who deny the truth. That's all I can say. And out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. Okay, and I'm gonna end this off on 2 Peter. And this wasn't as smooth as I would hope it would go, but however, I pray that it's edifying. My point being that they know. Do you know? They took the time to put this is a lot of truth in this 2 pages, man. Like I said, it's like they're definitely an introduction to the Apocrypha. If you've been in the Apocrypha and you read this page, you're very familiar with everything that's written in here. Okay? All right. So this is 2 Peter 1 and 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation. Wait a minute. What did it say over here? Well, I got to bring it back up. But during this period also was created that mass of traditions, okay, which led to the Talmud. All right. So the scriptures right there is telling you that that's not how it works. Okay. For prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai spoke as they were moved by the Rekakwadash, Holy Ghost, Rekakwadash. Okay? And look, I didn't have this, but I'm gonna get it. Amos 3:7. Surely Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Allah power, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And now that the prophets become before these little hatters come trying to change it up. No, they come to establish what was already written before them, including Yahweh Shai, who the book is written of. Okay. All right. And it goes in to tell you that, okay, I'm gonna get this bottom part. All right, down here at the very end. Among us such a people governing under Suzannet of Rome, and I'm gonna get that word, but it means to be in another providence and run somebody else. There it goes too.
Pronunciation, both British and American English are similar here.
I don't know why it's not playing out loud for me.
All right, so let's break it down.
Suzerainty. Suzerainty.
Stress on the first.
And like I said, I could.
Overall, let's hear it again.
The meaning of it is that we don't live in your providence, but you live under our rulership of Rome by an Idumean usurper. Okay, who is Idumean? Edom. Okay, so that's who was ruling over us during this time. Bitter and unspiritual religious controversy. Okay, controversy. And maintaining an elaborate religion ritual appeared Yahweh Shai, the son and Hamashiach of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that's the saying that he came on the scene. Also, it would tell you that Yahweh Shai was born during the time of King Herodian. All right. And it does a good job of breaking this down. I wish I had more of an elegant speech. I feel like I'm so choppy right now. It'd be hard to keep your attention, but I pray that this was edifying, and I pray that the point was made. They know, because if they didn't know, they wouldn't have put it in here. Okay, they put this in here, the introduction, the little footnotes to the Apocrypha, if you want to call it, but then want to keep us hidden from it. which that is the actual meaning. But now it's time, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, like the book of Revelations, has revealed these secrets to his children, the you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. Okay. And with that, I pray that this has been edifying. Shalom.